viewers, welcome once again to another edition of our women's program, Karumpei. Today, this program is special because we have a very special person in our midst, and she's a designer by profession, and her name is Dakawanchwa Pohshna. As I said, she's a designer designing beautiful clothing for men, for women, for everybody. Well, Dakawanchwa, of course, had her schooling days in Shillong, and thereafter, for higher studies, she went to Delhi. And from Delhi, she decided to pursue her passion on designing still further, and she went to the fashion hub of the world, which we know it as Italy, in Milan. That's right. She graduated from there, finally got a certificate of designing from there, came back to India, and she worked with various designers of the country, and the big names, in fact. She even worked with Lakme fashion show. And it was during the COVID days that she decided to finally come back to her root, that is to Meghalaya, and then be independent and start a line of clothing of herself. Thereafter, there was no time for her to look back really, because lately she's even involved with the Miss Shillong clothing designs and many other designing avenues that she is into. So you be there, enjoy this program as I warmly welcome Dakawanchwa. I'll be calling her Daka for short. Hi there, Daka. A pleasure to have you in our midst, and thank you so much for sparing your time really for us and to be here in Doordarshan Shillong.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. And I thank you so much for understanding and for doing this for me.
Thank you. Most welcome.
It's just been like a year. Now I'm still in a baby, you know.
Yeah.
It's still new, really, really new. It's just been a year and 1 or 2 months here in Shillong, starting my brand.
Yeah. Okay.
By the name of MEM.
MEM.
Yes.
Okay. So, but then you've had such wonderful, beautiful experiences, you know. We'll come to that. But then I thought, what really made you go into designing? Were you always a very fashionable person?
It's, I wouldn't say it's fashion. I'm more from the arts background as well. It's more the creativity, the art. And then, yeah, I was very fascinated by art and all that. So for fashion design, it's like since I was little, I used to love doing, you know, these paper dolls, designs and all that. So, yeah, and my mom also is, she's very good in her knitting and crochet and all of that. So I think it's from there that I got the interest, you know, it's from home.
That's
and
right.
my aunts and all that were all into stitching, sewing and all of that. So, yes, and it's been a passion right from before, but it's just that, you know, like you always have to go through all that, you know, you do your schooling and then your graduation, and then after that you get to do what you want to do.
Yeah, when you finally understand what is it that you would wish to do. Yes. And from Delhi, you went straight to the hub of the fashion world.
Yes.
I mean, that really, really is something, you know, that a girl all the way from the corner of Northeast travels all the way there. Tell us, you know, what took you to Milan, really?
Yes. See, it's after all over the world, like when this fashion hub and everything, like it's been going on. So it's basically after the Hollywood, Bollywood and all of that. And so the fashion in India was just coming up and things like that. So that was what it fascinated me in a way that, you know, I want to actually get into this line. And then, and why Italy? It's because of what I've known, that tailoring in Italy is it's A1. Let me put it that way. It's A1. So based on that, I would love to experience. Of course, I got a chance to do in Paris, London as well, and New York. But then I chose Italy.
Okay.
I chose Italy because it's got that root. It's got that root.
So you had the options before you.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those are also equally good. But then you still chose the best.
Yes.
So how was there? What did you learn really there after you went there?
Yes, it's quite different from India, because in India it's pretty vast, but in Italy what you choose, and it's just you know, to the point.
Okay.
You know what I learned was a lot of construction and like, you know, like history, like, you know, the history of fashion.
Okay.
And my main point, my main
strength
is the coats.
Okay.
So I love coats. So I actually went delved deep into that, and so yeah, it was like the cuts, the construction. You know, it's the that's what fascinated me, and that's why I went there to learn that. And then also, like, you know, the Western fashion, like,
Right.
you know, it's not just traditional, so it's like, it's all of that. So based on that, I kind of like, I chose Italy, and then I learned a lot. I was really hungry. I was really, you know, wanting to do something, wanting to learn as much as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it got me there, and I was satisfied. I was happy. I got exactly what I was looking for. So
Yeah, because, you know, Shillong is also a very,
Very
very
fashionable.
fashionable place.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, come on. I mean, we have to just look around us and see all the men, women, the boys and the girls are so well dressed.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, yes.
They really have the fashion sense.
Yes.
And then from here you went, and it was just polishing up whatever. I think you had the basic idea, but then you wanted to
Yes.
chisel them a bit more and put in your ideas
Yes.
too. So how much of freedom you got really once you went there, when you had to undergo the training or the course?
Yeah, the freedom. Yeah, it's basically
Because that's very important,
it's so
isn't
important.
it? Yeah.
It's so important. It's the freedom to learn. It's the freedom to understand. It's the freedom. Like, the main thing is how we were taught. So it's like, you know, yeah. Initially, it was like quite difficult for me before I went there. But how do I do that? I mean, it's not possible. You know, I try to understand it here in India, but the moment I go there, it's like it opens up your mind. Because why the field work, the research that we do, it's so vast. It's basically more on the practical part, you know.
Give us one example of a field work. Maybe
A field work. For example, okay, at one time we were asked to do, like, you know, to design pattern and thing. So we were given the freedom to do as much as you want. You go and click any photographs on the street, whatever you see, you know, that would come to that design. For example, say a honeycomb. So we would, like, go around the street of Milan and, like, you know, like,
look for honeycombs.
Any kind, not just honeycomb,
I mean,
any
that
design,
kind of design.
That kind of a design, for example. So we would, like, taking pictures of footpaths, taking pictures of everywhere, you know, that we got, and then we combine them together and we come to class, and then we actually, like, created the design out of it. And then, so that is in terms of the, you know, the pattern. So when you're talking construction, now, because see, the teachers there, it's different. Okay, first of all, it's like, you know, you want to construct a sleeve, and you have the idea, like, you know, you want to have it done in a different way. So it's like, it's not just a simple sleeve. So it's like, that's how we learn. That's the freedom. Like, how do I do this? It's how, like, you were taught how to do that, and, you know, that. So
the basic idea comes from you,
and
then
the basic idea comes from you, and then you were taught how to do it to you know, to blend in.
Yeah. So it was not so much imposition, really.
Oh, yeah.
But it was, you had and that's, as I said, you know, in the creative world, when one is given freedom, that is one of the most essential thing.
Yes.
And then only you can actually, you feel happy. And that's so important. Yeah. So important. But then coming back to, you know, to one of the basic, who were your main, you know, inspiration? Who were some of the basic designers, say, from the world or from India, who really you looked up to?
Oh, yes. He's an Italian designer, Gianfranco Ferré.
Okay.
He's like a coat designer. He's Paris, like Gianfranco Ferré. I mean, everybody knows that. He's really good in his cuts, really good in his construction, and I was always fascinated by that designer. Very well known. He's passed away, but he's a very well known designer, and the way his cuts, his collars, I was very fascinated by him. So I went through that. I went through that line.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. And then you come back to India.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And how was the journey back from Italy? Was it a little culture shock, and, you know, a shock that, you know, where have I come? Can I manage? Can I put in those designs that I learned there in our cultural context?
Yes, that was there. That was there, very much there. I was thinking, like, you know, like, my ideas are, like, really totally different. It's not very Indian.
Exactly.
So I was so lucky enough to work with Narendra Kumar Ahmed, where he gave me the freedom to do. He's a menswear designer, and he told me, like, you know, like, it's a risk that I'm taking, you know, like, to do women's line. So I'm like, yeah, let me take the risk, let me do it. So that's when I started. I got the freedom. He gave me tailors. He gave me the masters. I was teaching the masters how to do the cuts and all that. So that's when we started. And he's like, okay, I think we're ready to do Lakme Fashion Week. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, so let's do Lakme Fashion Week. So it's like, yeah, that's where I showpiece my ideas. a bit of my ideas, and it was, growing from there.
You know, Lakme Fashion Week is one of the most known fashion, right? I mean, event that takes place, and there your design is part of it. At least some part of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how did it make you feel really, coming from there and then getting that big a platform?
Oh, that was like a dream come true. It was a dream come true,
yeah,
basically.
surely it must have been.
Yes, it was like, it's like, wow. I mean, I couldn't believe, like, it would happen so fast.
Yeah.
And then, it's like the opportunities, the doors were opening. So I said, might as well grab it while it's there and learn a lot and learn. It is always a learning, designing is like it's a learning process. It's like you have to go through it. It's like every fashion is new. It keeps evolving. So
absolutely,
it's like you have to just try, touch your hands here and then, and like just play around. That is creativity, It's like
So in this evolving fashion, how do you keep yourself abreast with the latest? I mean, do you follow up? Do you read? What?
Yes.
How do you keep updated?
Yes. I do a lot of research, like to see, like for example, we have learned once in Italy, the WGSN. I mean, it's a well-known, website where a lot of designers would just, it's where they would give their raw ideas like that, and it's from then on, like you see the forecast, fashion forecast.
Okay.
It's for fashion forecast. So basically, some of it is there, and then also, now like social media is in, so you get everything in social media. So
what's the forecast for 2026? I mean, you can surely give us some ideas for all the young women who are watching the girls.
Yes. You mean, for me, it's like, it depends now, if you're going to go, I would say more right now, it's going to the sheer kind of fabric, in terms of fabrics, in terms of textiles and all that. It's like a lot is being done, you play around with fabrics. With this AI and all coming up.
Yes, exactly.
With AI and all coming up, where you can do a lot of things. So that is one thing. And then to say forecast on my own is like I won't be able to give a direct
okay.
So, but I would say it's more on the sheer lightweight fabric.
Dhaka, this is a very competitive industry.
Yes.
Right. I mean, a lot of people are doing fashion, right? There are a lot of them are into this business. So how do you cope with that, because today something is in fashion, tomorrow it goes out of fashion. But then there might be customers who wanted yesterday's design for you, but then you have something else to put in. So how do you balance that, what the customer wants and what you have in mind?
Okay, see, it's again, it's like, it's like an understanding between the customer and the designer. So I would give my ideas from my side. I would say that, and the customer would give the ideas, and sometimes, it's always like, it could be old, it could be like the latest trend, it could be like, in between. So in that sense, I would always tell my customer, okay, maybe this would suit you, this would, I mean, like a color, a cut, or something like that. So
has it ever happened that, a customer wants something else and you want something and there's a clash of ideas?
That is where we come together and we kind of like, blend it together. There is an understanding. See, this is from my point of view, I can do it, for example. But then, it would be like, it won't suit you. The idea that you want is like, you see on videos, you see on the models wearing it, it's different, And then suddenly, if you want that something in you, don't expect that to be exact like that. So somehow there is an understanding. Like, okay, let me try and do it in this cut. It'll be this, and then we come to an agreement somehow. I've never had any customer, by the grace of God. So far, I've never had touch with like who
argumentative
like
customer.
Oh yes,
right?
yes. I didn't have any of that so far. So.
And now I want to come to another arena because we have a lot of fabrics here which are innate to and the muga, of course, of Assam, and then we have the eri silk, right? Eri weave, eri silk here. So do you have such plans of blending what you have learned from the West and something that is so traditional, so innate of this place?
Yes. I like the rindia, for example, from here so far. Like, I've done quite a lot of silks and all that before in Mumbai. But when you look at it, like, from the how do you say it? Like, it is wearable, but do you think it is durable? Can you, it depends on that. So I'm still studying that.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm still studying that. Like, what is the functionality of it and everything. So I mean, like, it like once I do something, it should be like, it should be good, and it shouldn't have any hang-ups here and there.
Yeah.
So. I want to blend. I want to really do like a Western coat and a rindia and all that stuff. So it will look nice. I want to paint on a rindia. I want to do embroidery on a rindia. Of course, I would love to do that. And in the future, I think I would love to blend the Western cuts on a rindia, or our traditional costumes.
Right. Because rindia has also got the GI tag already, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it has gone, and there are designers who have taken it the world over.
Yes.
And it is being now really looked up to, and people are looking forward to this material, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you also want to do something like that in the near future, perhaps?
I have done something before in that, and then I would love to lay my hands on it a little bit to see how it goes. But in the future, yes, I would love to do that.
Daka, often we have this conception or a misconception, I know, must be true too also, because I personally, I think, will not be able to afford a designer clothing, For most of us, it is unaffordable.
Yes.
So therefore, if you want to reach, but then again, having said so, well, design clothes is not for everybody. It is for a class of people, right? But am I saying something wrong here? Because shouldn't it be open for everybody also who loves fashion? Can't it be a little bit more affordable, really?
See, I cannot speak on behalf of everyone.
Yeah, no, I'm talking for your
view. For me, why not? I would love to cater to the masses. I would love to cater. So it also depends now. Now with everything going up. Okay, first of all, the cost of the fabric is not the same as what it was before. So, and then again, like, I totally understand your point. Like, I would love a particular gown, and then so when I go and buy it, it's like, wow, the price is like way beyond my, So for that, I would say, like, I would rather, for me, I would not go so high fashion.
Okay.
I would like to. It's not so high fashion, or it's not so low. So it's just in between.
You can't make it a retail, also.
I can't make it a retail, also. So I would just go in between, and then price-wise, costing-wise, I mean, I'd go a little bit, not so beyond. What a person can afford based on the. If it was Mumbai, it's a different story altogether. That you get the elite crowds and all that stuff. Then if it's here, like, we have a lot of young people who would love to dress up, and they can't afford. So I've had a lot of college girls who'd come to me saying, "Oh, I want that gown. Can you do it for me for that price?" And like, sometimes it's like, I said, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, like, So for me, it'd be like more. I would like to cater to the public, to the mass, and then. Of course, it depends now.
Yeah, as you grow, I suppose, right? As you grow.
Now, yes.
So how do you advertise yourself? Like, how does one know what you and your fashion and your clothing?
For me, it's like, it's not, because right now, I told you, I'm just 1 year, and it's very, very young, still baby in the
Inshaallah.
In Shillong. So now it's always hand to mouth. It's through friends and family. And
I believe you wear your.
I do.
Yeah,
yes,
you wear your own. Today also you're wearing your own style,
one of my
right?
top,
your own designs. Yeah.
I do wear my own designs when I go out and all that, and that's where, like, people would ask, like, where do you get this from? I say, I make it my own. So like, can you make one for me? That's how I get my orders. It's it's works out like that. For me, it's like hand to mouth now. So like, once I start the boutique and all that, which I will be, I think, in the near future. And that's when I'm going to have my own showroom and all that
Absolutely,
stuff. It's not an easy, journey.
Yeah.
It's not an easy journey.
That's what I was coming to. What are some of the challenges that we don't know of?
Yes.
Yeah. What is it sometimes that maybe bogs you down, makes you feel low and...
Yes.
Yeah.
See, the thing is that if you're sure of yourself, if you're confident, I think in terms, if you're like, you're very secure about what you do. So you're not scared. Of course, the journey, the struggles are there. Of course, you have to overcome them, and you shouldn't stop. That's what I'm trying to say. You should just move on.
Yeah.
One day it's not going to work out, but the next day it will. So,
absolutely. Because, young little kids today, they start with their Barbie dolls, changing the clothing, etc. From there, they're drawing some designs in the paper. And then, so for a young girl, a schoolgoer who's watching this program today, and she wants to, she's looking up to you right now. She's, and she wants also to follow your footsteps. What is it that you would like to tell her?
See, I would say don't give up, because a lot of our kids are giving up.
Okay.
Like they see the challenge, they see that, oh no, this is tough. The moment they see a competitor, they say, no, I'll not do it. I would say, no, for me, I would just everywhere I go, I would just compete. I have that kind of a thing, even in Delhi or in Mumbai or anywhere. I was not scared.
Nothing should stop you.
Yeah, nothing should stop me, because that's what I want. I was hungry for it. So that's what I want. And I would say because they have a lot of talents this side, very talented kids, and it's always the thing that they feel that I'm a competition, or they feel that I'm not good enough. That's not creativity. You just have to just keep moving forward, and just give it a try at least. Give it a try. If it works, it works. If not, do it again. That's what I do.
Nice.
I do it again.
That's
and again.
what I like. What you said. I thought almost said, okay, give up then. No, give it a try again.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. As we are almost wrapping up Dhaka, and since so many of our women friends are watching this program, what is one of the most basic, wrong thing that we do with fashion, maybe on an everyday basis? Or would you say that as long as you're comfortable in whatever you're wearing, that is your fashion?
That it is.
Yeah,
it's the comfort level.
Yeah,
you said it. You said it already.
Yeah.
There's no point wearing something that you're not comfortable. You cannot move. That is fashion.
Okay.
For me, you're comfortable and you're confident, and there's no, as long as you like, you see yourself, you're happy with yourself, and then you don't need another approval, I think.
Yeah.
If you look at yourself in the mirror, and then I wear this, and then I like what I see. That's it.
Absolutely.
It's a comfort level.
Absolutely, because these days there's so much of body shaming and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so fat, I'm so thin, this doesn't suit me, I'm this, I'm that. I think this should go as a message, right? So lastly, what message would you like to give to all of our young boys and girls, let's include the boys too, who are so self-conscious, and they are so conscious of what others have to say? What is the message you would like to pass?
I would say be yourself. Be yourself and stay confident. Just shut your ears to the world and just move forward. Wow. That's what I did. In fact, in Mumbai, in Delhi, I had so many competitors. But it just didn't bother me, because I was just I can also do it. If she can do it, I can also do it. I have that spirit.
Sometimes we need to have the skin of a rhinoceros.
What to do? But it's part of learning
process.
And it's also it's just don't give up. Just keep moving.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Just keep going forward, and just give it a try. Like I said, because I've been trying, and I failed many times. I keep failing. There were losses. There were I had to go to Goa, carry my stuff, show my showpiece, and of course I was not always selected, but somehow another first year I would go, I was not selected. Second year I got selected. Third year, then it move on from there. It's like you don't have to be so self-conscious. Just be yourself, and just enjoy what you have,
and what you are, right?
And what you are,
absolutely,
and not to look, and not to be somebody else.
That you're not.
That you will grow. That is individual. You're unique that way.
Oh, wonderful. I could have gone on and on. I could feel that so much.
The good vibe.
The good vibe, yes. Okay. And I'm sure that it has come through to all of our viewers too, who are watching this program. It was lovely to have you, really.
Thank you.
I wish you tons of luck, Dhaka, in your future endeavor. And I hope that you will, one of your basic endeavor would be to make fashion affordable for all people like me, especially who cannot really afford expensive stuff, right? Yes. And for everybody. On a serious note, all the best for your, in all of you that you do, and thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so my dear viewers, that's Dakawanchwa Pohshna for you, the designer, all the way from trained from Milan in Italy, and you've heard what she had to say, right? Just be yourself and don't give up on your passion. If you fail, well, don't give up, try again. With that message, we wind up today, and stay fashionable, stay beautiful just the way you are. Until next time, from all of us here, it's wishing you goodbye.